So good morning to everyone who's joined us today. I think we've got a few participants here. If you are here for the Parent University course about resources for healthy and energy efficient homes, you're in the right spot. Welcome to everyone who's here, and then welcome to all of our presenters as well. My name is Katie Joseph. I am with the Grand Rapids Public Schools Parent University. I'm joined here by a bunch of awesome people, but maybe wait a little bit longer just to see if we get any latecomers who also want to be a part of this presentation. Maybe we'll begin in like a minute or two. Brett, are you able to see people in the waiting room?
Yes, I can. I do get those notices. Yep, but there's no one there right now.
No one there right now? Okay. Just making sure that everyone comes in. And for everyone who has joined us this morning, if you enjoyed today's presentation, you want to tell your friends and family about it, we've got another session going on later tonight too. And so it's going to be the same content, same presentation, same presenters, just reiterating the same information at a different time so that we can get this info out to as many people as possible. I think you're going to find that there's a lot of great info being shared this morning. Want to spread the word? We welcome you to do so. So at this point, we're about 9:33. So I'm going to pass it off to our presenters this morning. Brett Little from Green Home Institute is going to kick us off and underscore some of the main points that we're going to talk about today. Without further ado, Brett Little, thank you so much.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us here. Really excited to be doing this. I just want to real quick make sure you can see my screen. Looks good? Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm Brett Little. I'm the program manager here at the nonprofit, the Green Home Institute. Green Home Institute is headquartered right in Grand Rapids. We've been here for 20 years. And our mission is to empower people to make healthier and more sustainable choices in the places we live. And specifically to this event, we have been thankful to the Wege Foundation for funding us since 2014. And even before that, they've been supporters of ours right in Grand Rapids to help move the needle on healthier, more energy efficient, more water efficient housing within Grand Rapids, and give resources to help folks who, if you're having any concerns about income or getting access to being able to make these improvements, which they do have costs. One of our goals is to figure out how to overcome those challenges and work on that. So we've been doing that since 2014. We're still funded to do it through all the way to the end of 2022 for sure. And so we want to keep getting the word out about different ways to pay for improvements and find solutions to pay for improvements for energy efficiency and health in your homes. So real excited about that. And so we're going to be talking a lot today, and you're going to hear these terms, AMI or FPL, so area median income or federal poverty limit. Basically, the important thing is, and we'll send this out to an email to everybody, but you can screen grab this. Basically, it's important to figure out where you and your family fall on this, because this will determine potentially what resources you have available to you. And so there, and also going above the 80%, there's even 100% area median income, which I don't have on here, that's where our program actually kicks in at 100%. So take a screen grab of this, because our speakers are going to be referencing these charts throughout this session, talking about where their program falls into it. But you might find that you have many programs ideally available to you if you need it, and that's okay. We all need help sometimes, and so this is just being able to sort of identify where you're at as a starting point and what programs you can take advantage of. it's important to know that these numbers change every year. So they do update up and down every year. So this isn't set in stone either. And programs change too. So they might go from a 60 to an 80. But this is just something to have on hand that we're going to be referencing throughout the session so you can figure out where you and your family are and get the resources you need and others in your community that you need to help make improvements. What kind of improvements? So, air sealing, insulation in the walls, in the roof, in the basement, blowing in insulation to help keep your energy in, make you more comfortable, help your home stay heated longer in the event of outages, power outages. This is low-hanging fruit, and so there are funds available through many of the programs we're going to talk about today for that. Sealing ducts and making sure your ducts are designed appropriately. There are funds available for that too. Having proper water heaters that are energy efficient and quite frankly healthy, because water heaters can put off bad emissions into homes. And so you want to make sure your water heater is not only energy efficient, but also healthy for your family. And the same goes for your furnaces, having energy efficient and properly vented furnaces so they're not causing health issues in your house, very important. Lots of funds available to pay for that. Some you can be more proactive, some on an emergency basis. Air conditioning, very important, not just from keeping cool and from being efficient, but also you can cause all sorts of humidity issues in your house if you don't have a properly sized working air conditioner. So there are funds available for that. Energy Star appliances, fridge, washer, dishwasher, having more efficiency in those can help you save energy and money, and there are funds there. Switching over to LED lighting is important to help get costs down in your home, and there are funds there. Saving water. Water bills are going up all the time throughout not just GR, but all cities. So saving water saves water on your water bill and on your water heater. So there are funds there for shower heads and low flow aerators in your bathroom and in your kitchen sink. Some of these funds also help you keep your home healthier. Just running a bath fan can ensure you've got proper air exchanges in your home. But is that bath fan running well? Is it working? Is it venting outside? So some of these funds can help look at that and pay for that and then make sure you've got good air quality in your home, which is now more important than ever to make sure we've got good air quality and we're keeping the air fresh and moving and not letting things get stuck in it. And windows don't save very much energy, but there are some funds to help get new windows if you need it, repair old windows. This is huge with lead, right? This is a big issue with lead and not getting exposed to that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about water leaks, both from your roof and from your pipes. That can cause all sorts of problems beyond just water bills. That can cause a lot of damage. And so there are some emergency funds and some other funds available for water leaks. So the whole idea is that, you can work with us for $300. We do come in and evaluate a home, and we kind of give you a snapshot of where your home is at from an energy standpoint, and then where it could be if you made improvements, and to help you access some of these funds to make those improvements. If you actually make the improvements and score a 5 or higher on our system, and then achieve, fix all the issues in your house to achieve a green certification, we actually refund those dollars on a low income basis. So that's something that we offer. And then we're working with other partners throughout the city as well. And then finally, we're going to talk a little bit about new construction. And, obviously, if you're able to access a new home, it could help reduce your costs from going from rent to mortgage. Also can help with energy bills and health, because typically newer homes are built better. And we're working with agencies across the city to get them certified. So this is a little bit more about us, greenhomeinstitute.org. You can always plug into any of the events and trainings, and we do free events every Wednesday, and just learn a little bit more. And then we're, again, just trying to put together these resources that are available to everybody and figure out what can help you make your home more energy efficient and healthier. So we have a lot of folks here lined up. I'm going to talk a little bit more too about their programs, and they're going to briefly go through all of what they have available, and then we'll do a Q&A so you can get your questions answered on, what kind of help you will need. So I'll hand it off back to Katie.
Thank you so much for that, Brett. Next up, we're going to hear from Aaron Donnelly of Consumers Energy. Just let me move my slide and Aaron, take it away.
Hey, Aaron, I can't hear you. Can you do it now?
I cannot start my video, but I believe you should be able to hear me now. Is that correct?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks, guys. I'm with Consumers Energy, and I'm going to be sharing some information on the Home Energy Analysis Program with you all. Awesome. So the Home Energy Analysis Program just launched last year. It's a free program for anyone that's a Consumers Energy customer. And essentially what we do is an analysis of your home. So you schedule an appointment and we can do a virtual or in-person appointment, but we look at everything from the basement, furnace, water heater, appliances, bathroom fans. Brett mentioned the importance of all those things, windows, insulation in the attic, and then make some energy saving recommendations for you and provide some different things within that assessment. So you schedule that assessment, we'll provide you with free upgrades, and those can help you save up to $150 yearly on energy costs, as well as improved comfort. So how to go about it, you visit the homeenergyanalysis.com website, schedule that virtual or in-person appointment. You pick your date and time, and at that time, you'll also select your income level, as we have some additional measures that we provide for income qualified customers. And we'll talk about that on the next slide as well. For you guys that, if you don't mind going back real quick, for you guys that are in this webinar today, if you sign up and you use code GRPS, we'll also send you, after you've completed your appointment, $10 in Consumers Energy gifts of energy that you can use towards your energy bill. So within that home energy analysis, after we've done the initial assessment, we'll provide you with LED bulbs and night lights within your home. And then if you have an electric water heater, we can also provide pipe wrap, shower heads, and aerators, as well as a personalized home energy report. So in this report, there will be some rebates if you choose to use them, and also some energy saving tips. And these might be things that you can change within your home or just within your routine that'll help lower those costs and improve comfort. And as I mentioned before, if you are income eligible, and we define that as 200% or below the federal poverty level, or 80% AMI, and Brett showed that chart at the beginning, we have some additional premium measures that we can offer to you as well. And on our website, we have information on what those numbers look like for income level. So who's eligible? You'll need to be a Consumers Energy customer, which is just about everybody in Grand Rapids. We're working with renters and homeowners, so no worries there if you're renting. And we are working with single family homes, duplexes, mobile homes, condos, or townhouse style apartments. So we define townhouse style as an apartment that has all separate entrances, no common spaces, and separate appliances. So basically anything that isn't your big multi-family unit we'll be able to work with. And we're working with any income level. So even if you don't meet those low income qualifications, we can still come in and do the home energy assessment, the bulbs, pipe wrap, shower heads, aerators, and home energy report. You just might not be eligible for those additional premium upgrades. And then lastly, I just want to mention again, this is a completely free program. I know people can sometimes be a little bit skeptical when they hear the words free. But if you've ever noticed that little energy efficiency charge on your bill each month, it's something like 34 cents or 50 cents. That is actually what funds this program. So you, as a Consumers Energy customer, are paying into this program, whether you are taking advantage of it or not. So that's really what we want to try to do, is raise awareness around this program so that you can get your money's worth. So like I said before, you can go to homeenergyanalysis.com, and I'll also drop that website in the chat as well. Or you can call that phone number. Either when you use the schedule, if you use the code GRPS, we will provide you with a $10 gift of energy after you've completed your appointment. So that is everything that I have, and I'll be happy to answer any questions after we go through everyone else's presentation.
Thank you so much, Erin. I didn't know any of that, and so this is great information. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, thank you. And so next up, we're going to hear from Brett Little, who's going to discuss DTE Energy Efficiency Program.
If you want to, hey, I'll back again here. So if you want to move it to the next slide real quick. So this is sort of a snapshot of DTE's website as far as assistance if you need it. They, have quite a bit of funds available. They service gas here in Grand Rapids. So that's heating system, tune-ups or replacements, high efficiency water systems that we discussed, and then home weatherization improvements. Typically, it works the best trying to access their funds through other agencies, just because it's typically works really well if you can find additional sources of funds to help pay for it. They're not really set up for like emergency situations, like you can't call them up to get your system replaced and fund it that way. You have to kind of go through a little bit of a process. So it's good to get ahead too. If you think your furnace is getting old, you don't see any insulation in your attic, your water heater is getting old, get ahead now and don't let it become an emergency. They have the funds available to help through partner programs. We can try to help you out with that. If you get a hold of us, you can contact them directly. You can go to the next slide. They also do audits, and so they will come out and help with assessments. Some of those audits have, again, are income based on your income, depending on what level of audit it is. So we've got some links down here, and we can send this out as well. And they can come in and do an evaluation of your house to see what is needed. And again, you can get ahead before the next cold snap hits and the winter hits, or before your water heater fails. And then also we're going to hear a little bit from Home Repair Services in a bit here. And they're, one of the local partners of DTE to help with the furnaces and water heaters through their program. So that's kind of the way they work, is they work with local partners on the ground to help you out, as you need it. So we're really thankful for DTE and their support, and for helping people with their furnaces, water heaters, and weatherization. So thank you.
Next up is Kimberly Rinking. She's going to represent the Kent County Weatherization Program.
Good morning. So it's going to sound a little bit like a repeat of some of the things Brett has gone through from the intro. But piggybacking, Kent County Community Action runs a program called the Weatherization Program. A lot of people refer to it as the Winterization Program, and I think that's an easy slip to make, because the impact of our program is definitely felt in the winter time. Our primary goal is to reduce your energy usage and make sure that your home is safe. The slide that we have up shows you just as an approximation about how much energy is attributable to each of those factors. And heating your home, number one, especially obviously in the winter. Water heater, that also uses a significant amount of energy. And then, much to many people's surprises, your refrigerator comes up in a close third, honestly. We have a multi-stepped kind of lengthy approach to getting into the program. Takes a while to do, but what the purpose is we will come in and assess, just like Brett's program and the things that he discussed. We can assess your energy usage and whether your mechanicals are functioning properly, so that when we come in, we can tighten things up. Brett referred to air sealing and ductwork and insulation. Those are the primary focuses of the weatherization program. We'll come in and we'll insulate the attic. We insulate the outer sidewalls, and oftentimes we'll insulate in the basement and your crawl space, so that the whole kind of exterior envelope of your house is covered and it maintains heat a lot better in the wintertime for you. The two big questions that we usually get are, do we do windows and do we do roofing? No, we don't. So just think of kind of the exterior and keeping your heat in, and that's how you'll know what our focus is. The program, just like Erin was talking earlier, our program is also free. There are 0 costs. Once in a blue moon, there's a little bit of, I think, a cost for seniors, but that's usually around $25, and that's the end of it. So we can come in, we do a whole house assessment that takes 3 to 4 hours, and we find out where the air leaks in your house are so that we can seal those up. Brett also talked about having a fan running so that you can have those air exchanges and keep the interior air in your house healthy. We oftentimes put in those fans. We can look at replacing furnaces, we can look at replacing water heaters, and we can look at replacing refrigerators if those are deemed inefficient as far as energy usage goes. I think I've probably beaten this slide, so go ahead. Yeah, those are our primary focus, is reducing all of your costs, and we check and make sure that the house is safe, primarily by making sure that the carbon monoxide from your furnace, your hot water heater, those sorts of things are drafting properly, and that the air, the stale air leaves your house, and that we're bringing in fresh air so that your house can breathe and function as it's supposed to. The air sealing picture shows sort of a basement shot. The insulation is blown into your sidewalls and attics. We give you all new light bulbs to reduce your usage there. We put in carbon monoxide detectors and a myriad of other things, but these are our primary. So next slide, I think we'll probably wrap it up. If your house was previously weatherized prior to the year 2000, we can come back and do it again. From 2000 forward, we can't touch it for quite a number of years. How do you know if your house was weatherized? I can tell you, we do have a statewide database that I can look it up on. It's not something necessarily that you're going to see. Again, we use the 200% of federal poverty, and that's our guideline. So if your income falls at the 200% or lower, we can look at assisting. Also, 2 automatic qualifiers. If your family has a member who is on Social Security SSI, not SSDI, or if you're on cash assistance, then you are automatically income qualified. The house also has to meet physical standards, and so we do a physical inspection. So it's sort of a twofold eligibility, that number 2 and that number 3 spot on the slide that she's got up. So we have to make sure that the house itself physically passes as well. And feel free, there is my email, which is also on a slide, I believe, that we'll put up at the end. And then my phone number is supposed to populate, but it might take a minute for this slide to kind of cycle through. But we have a dedicated line at the county where you can leave your name and address and phone number. I pick it up and I get you on the list. Callbacks take me a minute. So if you don't hear from me in the 48 hours or something, don't be surprised and don't panic. You're on the list and I have to work my way through it. It's a first come, first serve. We do also, I should note, we work with homeowners and rentals. We can do mobile homes, we can do duplexes, we can do single family. We're just getting into smaller apartment buildings. I think 4 households or less we can look at doing. So open to almost everybody except the multi-unit apartment dwelling people. So I think that's it for me, and I will take questions at the end.
Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Matt.
We're going to hear from Brett Little again about the Grand Rapids Housing Rehabilitation Program.
Yeah, hey, thanks everybody. GR was not able to join us today, but they sent us over some information, so we appreciate that. So next slide. Basically, this is a loan matching program, and the city helps you, with any kind of housing improvements you need, and helps you find the contractors and helps manage the project and ensure that it's done correctly with the contractors that are hired. Next slide. Right now, they are pretty much only in the emergency repair mode as the program is, but that could change in the future and has been different in the past, where they could be a little more proactive. But that's kind of where they're at. So emergency furnace replacement or emergency leak repairs, roof, I think plumbing as well. So, again, if you have that issue occur, make sure to get this number and their email contact on there, because I know when issues do occur, it can be expensive to replace things. And then it might be replaced with an inefficient product just in a hurry, which makes sense because you're in a hurry to get it done and you want to get the cheapest thing. So this will help you make sure you can get a better performing system. So jump to the next one. So they're again they're at the 80% area median income. If you recall that chart we showed with you, and there's some other exceptions: clear title to your home, property taxes and city fines are all paid, lived in your home for at least 12 months, and you have fire and hazard insurance on your home. So there are some requirements there. So it is a homeowner program only. So next. And it's important to know that it is loans anywhere from $1,000 to $24,000, and and there are some exceptions if you've received more than one loan. And as long as you've made all your payments on time, they forgive up to 0.5% of the loan. And they work with other programs like DTE that I mentioned to help fund the furnace repairs and water heater repairs, emergency repairs as well. Next slide. So there's their number, there's their website, grdc.com.info about housing rehabilitation program. Put that on your refrigerator, write it down somewhere, because if you do have an emergency one way or another, give them a call right away to help you out. So thank you.
Thanks, Brett. Up next, we're going to hear from Ronald Jimerson from the Seeds of Promise program.
Hey, Ron, you're still muted.
There we go. Can
There you
hear
go.
me now?
Yep. Yeah, good to see you.
Yep. Yeah, I'm Ron Jimerson, the Executive Director of Seeds of Promise, and I want to share with you this morning our Neighborhood Improvement Program, which we call NIP, which is serve, share, and invest. Next slide. Did you load up the right ones? In other words, this is basically a grant. It's not a loan. This is a grant, and you can get up to $7,500, but up to $10,000 with matching funds. And the requirements: you must remain in the home for 5 years, keep your residency in the community in their homes. And some of our endorsing partners are North Point Bank, local construction companies, our housing impact teams, and also SEED staff. Next slide. And I just wanted to share this chart with you. It may be hard to see, but what we did, we partnered with Grand Valley State University, the geographical department. We wanted to determine the conditions of the homes in the SEEDS area. And so they're all color coded. Basically, yellow means they're in medium shape, green is good, and orange, they need some work, and red means they need to be demolished. This was done through the students at Grand Valley and also our residents, host neighbors who took on this project. And this is one of the reasons why we formed and we started the whole NIP program, to begin changing the conditions of the orange and getting them all up to green. Next slide. So our neighborhood NIP program is basically for, it's a homeowners initiative, and it allows individuals to get money, but they have to be at or below the 80% medium income level that Brett has talked about. This is a grant, it's not a loan. So you're looking at $7,500 of free money if you qualify. And some of the requirements are: you have to be an existing homeowner with income at or below 80%, owner occupied. Eligible property includes family homes, condominiums, modular units, etc. Existing mortgage obligations must be current and paid as agreed. And you must be willing to remain in the home for 5 years. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, what is NIP? Basically, we do repairs. We're really trying to keep our residents in their homes, and many of their homes need costly repairs done. And in some cases, it causes the residents to move out of the area and become renters, or they purchase in a different area. So our whole purpose is trying to keep them in their homes. So these are some of the repairs we do: the replacement of existing wells, septic tank, underground water, sewage repair, replacement of water heaters. Energy conservative components also include. In other words, individuals can get windows, siding, roofing, gutters, attic insulation, exterior doors, electrical replacement, and knobs and tubing. So we also partner with DET and Consumer Energy and some of the upgrades that these individuals need in their homes. Next slide. This next slide shows you our 7-year history. And if you look at from 2014 to 2022, when we were hit with the COVID, and I just want to bring that point up because at that time we had quite a few people do orientation and we had to cease it. But if you look at 2014, there was 12 people who applied, 7 applications, but only 1 was approved. And as you can see, there's more and more people who are applying. But again, this is federal money through the Home Loan Bank of Indianapolis, and you do have to meet those federal requirements. But what we're doing this year, for many of these residents who may not make the qualification from the Home Bank of Indianapolis, We're working and partnering with a credit union who has applied for $1 million grant. And this grant will also be for all the repairs that we mentioned earlier. It's not based on your AMI. It's not based on your credit score. It's based on your ability to pay back the money. This way we can service a lot more residents in our area. Next slide. So this is basically our contact information. Seats of Promise, we're 1168 Madison. This is our phone number. And you can also email me at this particular address. And I would encourage you also to visit our website to look at all the other programs and services that we provide at Seats of Promise. Thank you.
Thanks so much. We're going to hear from Kelsey McFarland next of the, oh gosh, Inner City Christian Federation. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Perfect.
I'm unable to start my video, but I will move forward anyways. Yeah, so I'm Kelsey McFarland and I work at the Inner City Christian Federation as their grant analyst and homeownership programs manager. So if you want to go on to the next slide. And at ICCF, our mission is to work on creating equitable opportunities, affordable homes, and thriving neighborhoods in the greater Grand Rapids area. So I did include two different pictures. So as some of you have, if you know ICCF, you know we used to be located at 920 Cherry. That's our old building. But in the second picture below, that's our new building. So we actually recently moved about a week ago into 415 Franklin, which is actually the old Grand Rapids Christian High and old DHHS building. So we're trying to spread the word as much as possible. So I thought I would include that. Okay, next slide, please. So my team at ICCF offers a few different homeownership programs. So a couple of our focuses are education. So we do offer the Introduction to Homeownership course. So if you're looking to just learn more information about the process of home buying, the big 10 steps of home buying, what it looks like to be mortgage ready, we do offer a couple of different options for that. And then we do housing counseling, which is what I'm going to really focus on in a minute. So we offer just general pre-purchase counseling. So if you're looking to purchase a home and you need some guidance in that area, and we would look at your budget, pull your credit report, go through that with you and create an action plan on how to get you mortgage ready. And then we've got our individual development account, which is again what I'm going to be focusing on. And then we also have opportunities to purchase homes through ICCF as well. Okay, next slide. Yeah, so the main, could you go one more maybe? So it looks like our individual development account slide did not get included. If you could go back then the slide, that'd be fine. So our individual development account program it's basically a program that is used to help families purchase homes. So covering those down payment costs. So the way that it works is we would meet with you for housing counseling. But then we add a savings component onto that. So you would open a bank account at one of our partner banks, TCF. And over the course of 6 months, we would encourage you to save at $1,000 throughout that time. And at the time of closing, when you're ready to close on a home, if you have that $1,000 saved up, we do actually match that with $4,000 with funds that we receive from United Way. So that would be $5,000 toward a down payment assistance when you close on a home. So just making it, just addressing that barrier of that expensive upfront cost for purchasing a home. In terms of eligibility requirements, you have to be a resident of Kent County. You have to be at or below 100% AMI. So if you look at the chart on the right side of your screen, you can see the different size households. And obviously there are charts that go to higher people households. So if you have questions about that, let me know. But essentially, if you look, like say you're a one-person household, you have to be below the 56,000 mark for annual income and so on. So at or below 100% AMI. You have to be a first-time home buyer. And by HUD's definition, that means you haven't purchased a home in the last 3 years. And then you have to be able to save at least $20 a month. So again, it's a program designed to encourage savings over time. And so in that bank account, we would require that you'd be saving at least $20 a month. Go ahead and move to the next slide. So if you are interested in signing up, we do want to let you know that there's currently a wait list. We're in the process of hiring and training new staff. So hopefully the wait list will be opening end of summer, early fall. But the process you can sign up on that wait list. The process would be calling Rebecca Abraham, who is our intake specialist, and her information is listed there. And then once you're on the wait list, when we're ready, we'd reach out to you and you would turn in your application to the intake specialist. She would work with you on making sure you have all of your documents that we need. And then she would help you schedule an appointment, and then you would be able to start meeting one-on-one with your housing counselor. And if you are looking for more information about either our IDA program or other programs, I also listed our website as well. So you are able to check that out. Next slide. And that's all. So yeah, if you have any questions at the end of the presentation, I'll stick around and you can feel free to ask.
Thank you, Kelsey. Next up is Daniel Kavanaugh from Mercantile Bank. Take it away, Daniel.
Good morning. So let me switch to, I can see the slides. There we go. So I'm going to talk today about Mercantile Bank's Fix-It Home Loan Program, and that's for repairs to your home. The Fix-It program can provide financing for repairs. Go to the next slide. And it also provides up to $1,500 in gift funds from Mercantile Bank once the repairs have been completed. The interest rate is 1% for loans up to $7,500, and there's reduced rates for loans over $7,500 and no closing costs. Go ahead to the next slide. So the qualifications, so who would qualify? So you'd have to be at or below the 100% HUD median income, which that depends on family size. So for like a family of 4, that'd be 80,000. Two-person household be 64,000. We can lend up to 100% of the current property value. So it is lending against the existing equity, but we can go up to 100% of that. It'd have to be for a primary home. Credit score requirements are a minimum of 640, and the debt to income ratio is at 43. That's what the total payments are as a percent of total monthly household income. Next slide. So the kind of things that we can do with this is really set up for repairs. So it can be done for repair or replacement of a heating and cooling system. I did one just a few weeks ago for somebody replacing a furnace system, and it worked good for that. Could be plumbing system or water heater, electrical system to bring it up to code, any bathroom repairs or renovations. And a big one is any type of energy conservation improvements that need to be made. If you want to upgrade windows, siding, roofing, exterior doors, insulation, all of those things can be financed with this Fix-It loan program. It's not set up for additions or remodeling or making improvements for things that weren't there. So if somebody wants to finish off an unfinished basement, add a porch, put up a fence, things that were not there, that would not be what this is for. This is just for repairs of existing items that are there. Next slide. So the requirements to get this loan would be to complete a loan application. We would need income documentation, and we'd run a credit report. For the work that needs to be done, we'd request 2 bids from licensed contractors for the work that needs to be done. And then when the work is completed, we would pay those contractors directly from the loan. It's for people who've owned the house for at least 12 months. And there's a minimum of $2,500 for the project costs. So we're looking for projects at least $2,500 or greater. Next slide. So the terms, it's a 5-year loan. So there's 60 fixed equal monthly payments. The interest rate, as I mentioned, was 1% for loans up to $7,500. If the loan amount is over $7,500, it's 1% below our current 5-year home equity loan rate. And that's currently at 3.75. So with the fix-it loan program, loans over $7,500, the interest rate would be 2.75. So we got some very low interest rates on it. There's no closing cost. Any cost to get the loan set up would be covered by the bank. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a $1,500 gift from Mercantile Bank that's applied towards the loan balance once the project is completed. So if you had a $10,000 project, when it's completed, we would apply $1,500 towards that loan balance, bringing it down to $8,500. Next slide. So if you'd like to have more questions, if you have more questions or like to get started on something like this, contact either myself or Bonnie Potter here at Mercantile Bank. That's it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, Daniel. Appreciate it. Next, we're going to hear from Rodrigo Ortiz from Home Repair Services. Go ahead, Rodrigo.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm with Home Repair Services. Our mission story, our mission statement is that we believe that strong homeowners build strong communities. So we provide a few different resources. Our biggest program, it's our repair program, and that's on the next slide. We offer health and safety repairs for low-income homeowners in Kent County. Those repairs include things such as plumbing, electrical, roof patching, furnace repairs or replacements, water heater repairs or replacements. Most of our clients who are under the 50% area median income, their copay is about 20%. So that means that if we go out and the repair costs $200, the homeowner will only be responsible for $40 for that repair. And this is for homeowners, so we can work on homes that are under a mortgage, that have been paid off, that are under a land contract. We do duplex and multi-units, but we can only work on the unit that the homeowner lives in. And then we also do mobile homes as long as the title is under the person that's applying. Next slide, please. We also work with the City of Grand Rapids for the trash program. Those that qualify for our repair program are also eligible to receive free trash pickup to the city. We don't, all we do is we send every week we send a list to the city of clients that qualify to let them know that they can receive the free trash pickup. So we don't necessarily administer the program, or sometimes we have people call us asking about why their trash wasn't picked up or the replacement can, and all we do is just send that weekly list. And this is only for the City of Grand Rapids, but we do service all of Kent County for our repair program. Next slide, please. We also offer access modifications to make the house more handicap accessible. And we do wheelchair ramps and bathroom modifications. And this is actually open to both homeowners and renters in Kent County. You can see here some before and after pictures. And with this, with the access modifications, we do work with disability advocates to do an assessment on the home, and they make the recommendations for the modifications that need to be made. And the modifications, the copay for the modifications are on a sliding scale, depending on your income, which will be anywhere from $200 to $700. But keeping in mind that the average cost of a ramp here in West Michigan is around $5,000. Next slide, please. We also offer a free home maintenance checkup. This is not a home inspection before you purchase a home. This is more of an inspection for you to get to know your home. It's about a 2-hour walkthrough where we show you where the different systems are. So if you're not familiar with a main shut-off valve, that's something that we can show you where it's at. We can also give you a quick estimate in terms of if your water heater, you may have to replace it within 2 or 3 years or something along those lines. Next slide, please. We also have our kitchen remodeling program, and this program is open to any homeowner in Kent County. It does not have any income qualifications. It is a do-it-yourself program, so the way it works is we go into your home and we do a free design. So we measure your kitchen, and then we make it into your dream kitchen. So you will be able to see real 3D designs, and then you can buy the cabinets through us. We make our own cabinets at our building through volunteers, so you get them at a pretty discounted price. You do have to finish them yourself, so you will come in and stain them or paint them yourself. And we also have access to discounted cabinets through a few suppliers. So, if you're not interested in painting them, we can get them already to install. We do offer free coaching, and we also offer classes that will show you how to install them. So even though it's a do-it-yourself program, we do provide some support and coaching to make sure that it's being installed properly and safe and safely. Next slide, please. We are also a housing counseling agency. We provide foreclosure intervention counseling. So any homeowner that's it's behind on their mortgage payments, property tax payments, or a fear that they're going to be behind, we can meet with them one-on-one and explore different options. There are programs that your lender may be willing to offer in terms of pausing your mortgage payments, offering a repayment plan, or loan modification. And there are also programs that come and go through the government that may be able to provide assistance. So when we meet with homeowners that are in that situation, we try to find the best option to keep them in their home. We also help folks apply for things such as the poverty tax exemption. So if you are a homeowner and your income is below the poverty guidelines, you may be able to get exempted, which means you don't have to pay taxes for that year. It's something that you have to apply for every year, and we can help out with that application. And we also offer reverse mortgage counseling for those that are 62 or older that are interested in a reverse mortgage. Next slide, please. We do have our Fix It School, which unfortunately our classes have been suspended since last March. We are hopeful that someday we'll be able to offer those again, and these are pretty popular classes where we teach you hands-on how to do some basic repairs such as plumbing, electrical, cabinet installation, flooring. As you can see here, when you come to our class, you're not just listening to someone talk. You actually, for a drywall class, you get a little corner of a wall, and you get to make a hole and then patch that hole. So if you would like any more information, just you can check our website or our Facebook page for updates on our classes. Next slide, please. The classes that we are offering virtually are our Money Matters classes, and these are financial classes that we offer to the general public, and they are free. So we do offer a credit class, a budgeting class, and a home buying class. So tonight we're actually having a credit class from 6 to 7:30. So we'll go over the basics of how to get your credit report for free, how to read your credit report, how to improve your credit ratios. And we normally partner with different financial institutions to help us present these classes. And again, these are completely free and open to the general public. And you can register for these classes through our website, and we'll have that information at the end of the presentation. Next slide, please. And then we also offer the Financial Capability Certificate Series. This is one of the requirements for some of the housing programs, either from the housing commissions, Habitat, or a Mission Alone. So with this certificate series, we do cover some of the things that we cover in our Money Matters, but we in more detail. So we talk about budgeting, credit, student loans, fair housing, insurance, and we do offer these classes on a monthly basis. It's a 6-hour series, but we try to break it down into 2 3-hour sessions. And you can see that information there. The registration fee, it's $10 for household. Next slide, please. And then, if you'd like to register for our classes, or either the Money Matters Financial Capabilities, or if you would like more information about the different programs that we offer, you can visit us at homerepairservices.org. And I believe the next slide has our phone number, which is 616-241-2601. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rodrigo. I made a note of a lot of that info. It sounds like stuff that I would like to look into one day when I'm a homeowner. So thank you so much. And then we've got our last presenter is Jackie Hernandez from Healthy Homes Coalition. She's going to share with us about her program, Get the Lead Out. Go ahead, Jackie. Thanks so much.
Hello, everyone. Again, Jackie Hernandez. Thank you for being here and inviting us. So I coordinate the Get the Lead Out program that works in conjunction with the city of Grand Rapids. And our program basically helps homeowners to remediate lead hazards in their home by providing a grant of up to $20,000 to remediate lead hazards by changing out windows, doing some siding, and some painting. There are program eligibility requirements that you do have to meet, primarily being income, and based on household size, what our income limits are stated in our slide. You do have to have a child under the age of 5 that either lives in the home or visits your home 20 hours or more a week, or a pregnant mother. And your home does have to have been built before 1978. So if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. My contact information is on there along with my email. We can go to the next slide. That is one of many programs that we offer at Healthy Homes. We also have a parent advocacy group called Parents for Healthy Homes. It's a group of parents and grandparents with the vision to see that all children will grow up in healthy homes free of any and all environmental hazards, accomplished through education, involvement, and advocacy. They host a variety of events. Right now, they are pushing for a policy to raise the standards of homes, including rentals, being tested for lead prior to children getting sick. So to push the city to have more stringent testing guidelines to test our older homes for lead, as opposed to waiting until our kids turn out or end up sick with lead poisoning. You can get more information on that program, and anyone can join that program, whether you have family or friends that are directly impacted by lead, or you are just a concerned community member who wants to get involved. You would want to contact Abigail Bartlett. She's our community organizer. Her email is on this slide as well. And then we can do the next slide. And then we also have a severe asthma program. So the severe asthma program, we have housing specialists who help families identify and address hazards in their home that can worsen asthma symptoms, such as dust mites, excess moisture, and pests. There is some, due to our current capacity, there is some funding, but not a whole lot, just to be very clear and transparent about that. However, if you have priority health insurance, you would be eligible for this program. Now, what the program is it's a healthy housing specialist. We'll meet with you for 3 to 6 virtual in-person meetings, depending on what you yourself are comfortable with, to have the home assessed and to create solutions to prevent asthma from being triggered in the home environment. And you would want to contact Jennifer Spiller. Her contact information is on this slide as well. And that is all my information.
Sorry, I was muted without knowing, like all this time, like Zoom. But thank you very much, Jackie. This last slide has contact info from everyone that we heard from today. So this kind of just gives a recap of everything, all the different programs, and then ways that you can get in touch to find out more information. At this point, Well, maybe I'll keep this slide up for just a little bit longer, and then I would like to open up the floor for anyone who has follow-up questions for any of our presenters today.
Yeah, if everybody wants to, turn their cameras on, jump in the conversation, whether you're a presenter or attendee. If you're really shy, I am looking at the chat, so don't worry. If you want to type your question in the chat, we'll look for it there too. I think I just want to stress that, as you heard, a lot of these programs cover many of the same things. So again, you might find that you qualify for one, but not the other. So don't give up. One might be able to help you. And then also, you see in many cases, there might be an issue in your house that disqualifies you from one program until you can address it. And so one of the other programs might help you, like maybe having a leak in your house disqualifies you from a particular program. So there's other programs here that will address that. And then you use the other program. So that's kind of what we're here to do today, is to sort of say, look, there's all these resources. We can work together instead of separately in silos. We can try to figure out how we can help each other. Again, you might have, like, one program doesn't help with Windows, but if you got a lead issue, this other one can. So I think it's important to look at all of these different resources out there and to utilize all of them, and to figure out, one of our goals is to figure out how to help people take advantage of 2 or 3 to really move the needle on the energy efficiency or health within their homes. So we are going to be doing, Katie, when's our next session? Is it next week or 2 weeks?
Yeah, let me check on my calendar just to get a for sure answer. It's going to be not until May.
May, yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, so May 12th is going to be our next session, and
Yep.
And then we got another one on the 26th.
Yeah, so May 12th, we're actually going to take a really deep dive into so you might be saying, well, I don't know what the issues in my home are. I have no idea, right? What are the issues? How do I identify them? So we're really going to take that deep dive in there. But we wanted to let you know that there are funds available to help, so you don't just give up and say, well, my home's in bad shape, I can't do anything. So we're going to go into the technical side on our next call, but this one, we've got all these resources to talk about, a lot of people to help you identify these issues. So yeah, what questions are there? So there's a question for ICCF. I'm a homeowner for 13 years, but would like to purchase again. Would I qualify for your program?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if you're still living in the home, then technically you're not a first-time home buyer. You would have had to have, like, moved out, sold, and not have owned a home in the last 3 years at least.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting that HUD's definition of first-time home buyers is 3 years. That's really forgiving. I had no idea. Does MSHDA follow suit on that?
I don't honestly know. I would assume so. They follow suit on most of, like, a lot of our HUD funding is for both of them.
Okay.
It goes through MSHDA and CHC, so a lot of them through HUD, and so they have a lot of the similar requirements, yeah.
I have a question on that. So what happens when I run into a lot of people who are buying homes on land contract? Is that still technically considered a first-time home buyer? Does it have to be through a traditional mortgage, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we get that question a lot too. So we can't unfortunately do it where, like, if they're purchasing land to build a home, then we can't do it. But if it's like we have a partnership with Habitat for Humanity, and a lot of times at their homes we'll have IDA participants who kind of cross over and use both programs, but we can't do it with just, like, land contracts.
There's a question in here specifically to, I believe, Allegan County. And, just briefly, I know Allegan has its own weatherization. Every county has its own weatherization assistance program that you need to reach out to separately. I believe consumers, you power Allegan, so you probably have your same program there. I think DTE, similar to gas, or whoever the gas providers are, there are low income programs there. Do any of you, Dan, maybe are you all only serving Grand Rapids, or?
No, the entire state of Michigan is our market area.
So there's a question for home repair services. Do you replace entire roofs or just patch it up?
Through our minor repair program, we only have funding to do patching. but we also work with other programs to do roof replacements. So, there's programs sometimes through Senior Neighbors, the VA, and other programs that come and go, but generally through our minor repair funds, we just do patching.
Are there any other questions out there? Anyone want to jump in verbally or just keep sending them through the chat?
So I did want to also note that the Get the Let Out program application is the same one for the City of Grand Rapids Housing and Rehab Program. So what I run into a lot is I will have homeowners who apply for the Get the Let Out program, but may need more extensive repairs than what my program offers. So that application covers both of those programs. It's kind of like a 2-for-1, right? The biggest difference is that the Get the Let Out program is a HUD grant and the housing rehab is an actual loan. But it is, if you're looking to get repairs and you think you may need more, submitting the one application does get you access to 2 different program tracks that could possibly give you different amounts of money, because the Get the Let Out does up to $20,000 and the housing rehab does up to $24,000 for a loan. But they are very intentional about with the loan piece of it to make sure that they only lend you what you can afford to pay back, which I think is phenomenal for the City of Grand Rapids to do, because they're not trying to give you more than what your income allots you to, or that enables you to be able to pay back if we come into another pandemic that nobody foresaw happening, right? But it is one of those, it's kind of like a 2-for-1, so to speak. So if you fill out the application, you get automatically, if you're qualified, you qualify for both of those programs, funding wise, depending on what the situation is. And with the housing rehab loan, the requirements are that you just have to live in the home for 12 months. And you need to have some repairs that need to be done, where the Get the Let Out is specific about kids being in the home and that the home has to have been built before 1978. So I just wanted to throw that in there as well.
Rodrigo, are you all contractor partners on that city program at all?
No, we're not.
Okay. So another question here. What, again, are the income limits for the Consumers Energy Program?
Yeah, great question. So there are no income limits for the program as a whole. Anyone, regardless of income level, can sign up for the home energy analysis. If you meet 200% or below the federal poverty level or 80% AMI, you could be, you have the opportunity to receive some additional energy saving measures. But regardless of your income, you're still going to get LED bulbs and night lights. If you have an electric water heater, pipe wrap, shower heads, and aerators, that personalized home energy report with the rebates and tips as well. So all that's included regardless of income. And that's also available statewide. So if you're in Grand Rapids or somewhere else or know anyone else that could make use of this program, it would be available for them too.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up, it's pretty rare, but some people actually do from time to time have electric water heaters, or worse, electric inefficient baseboard heaters. Are those things you can help people out with on the heating and water heating side?
Yeah, definitely. So if you have an electric water heater, when we come out, we'll put pipe wrap around the pipes, which helps to reduce the amount of heat you're losing. We'll install high efficiency shower heads and sink aerators. So those are all things that we can help with. In terms of electric baseboard heat, there may be some rebates and incentives available there, but you would have to wait until you get your report to find out more about what can be offered there.
Okay, so you guys are actually not replacing water heaters though?
No, we are not replacing them at this time.
Okay. I just wanted to display this again because, you know, a lot of these numbers are getting thrown around, and we will send this out too. And this is being recorded. But again, I unfortunately did not get the 100% AMI on there. Some of you all did put that up, so appreciate that. I'll try to get that in there later. But this is just something to keep on hand, and it'll change next year, and we'll hopefully update it for you all again next year. I know how it is to plan a project. You start planning a project now, and then a year and a half later, you're doing it. So I get it. I've been there many times. But this is just something to have on hand so you can figure out where you're at and where you fit in. So, and now I can't see the comments though. So, so there's a question for you, Dan. I'm in need of roof and plumbing sewer issues. Does the Fix It program go over $10,000? And then the next part of that question is, can you use it for additions? So I can just obviously say no to that already, but the first part of the question, yeah.
Yes, actually the loan program has a limit of 100,000, though with a 5-year payback, that'd be a pretty stiff payment. So we haven't had any go that high, but so the amount is fine. We can do it for roof replacements and sewer fixes, but correct, not for additions.
I assume if people want to do additions, you have your traditional refinancing construction loans, right?
Yep, or just a home equity loan, right? Mm-hmm. It just wouldn't be at the low rates or with the no closing cost and the $1,500 are all things specific to the Fix It program.
Mm-hmm. Rodrigo, I had a question. When you do your review of homes, do you have any analysis that's done as far as blower door or heat, heat loss, or combustion and analyzation to actually see if those water heaters are even safe, and they might be spewing out carbon monoxide?
Our inspection is more of a visual inspection, so we don't go into that detail. There are some things that are, obvious where we have caught like a vent not being hooked up in the attic. Mm. So it's, so we don't necessarily look for those things specifically, like someone who was doing an energy audit would do. But if we can see it, then we'll let the homeowner know if it's something that we can address through our repair program, and the person who's registered will write up the request. If they're not registered, we'll see if they qualify or try to refer them to another agency.
Mm-hmm. Are your water heater or furnace on emergency only, or are they preventative? So like if you go and you see an old water heater, maybe it has an issue, could somebody work with you to get a more energy efficient one, or is it only if it's broken?
It has to be broken. So we send our contractors and they do an assessment. If it's repairable, we'll go that route. If they say, it's not worth repairing it, or we can no longer get parts, then we can go ahead and replace them. One thing that I forgot to mention in the presentation is that we're able to do water heater and furnace replacements, even though they're considered major repairs instead of minor. But we work with other agencies. So we do work with DHS through the state emergency program. So a homeowner who's going through our program can also apply for the $1,500 that are available through SCR. And we also work with DTE and consumers on some of the rebates programs for furnaces and water heater as well. And that's how we're able to replace those systems.
There's a great question in here, and Rodrigo, maybe you know the answer, maybe Kimberly, because both of you were showing, I think, these systems, but carbon monoxide detectors, I think the fire department will come in many aspects and replace fire alarms, and then also install carbon monoxide detectors. Did anybody know about that or have any other comments through your own programs?
So for the city of Grand Rapids, if you are a homeowner, they will replace smoke alarms and do carbon monoxide detectors. I do not believe that if you're a renter, you get the same service just because of the preferences for homeowners. However, through Healthy Homes, we did have, and we do currently have a grant, which is because of the pandemic, we're in the process of restarting again. It's a FEMA grant to do smoke alarm installs, which also get you at least one CO detector along with that. And we do both homeowners and renters. But let me be very clear, it's not up and running again yet, but it is something that we are looking to start in the near future. I just don't have a start date for you. So if there's someone who's interested in that, you can always call us and give us your information. And what we're doing is basically creating a wait list. So when we do get it back up and started, we'll reach out to those that are interested to schedule appointments for installs. And I do believe at one point in time, Red Cross was also doing smoke alarm installs as well. I don't know if they're still doing it though.
Does anyone else know of any carbon monoxide detector resources?
I will say we are going to do a carbon monoxide alarm giveaway in May. So if you receive emails from Consumers Energy, you should get an email May 6th that has a promo code with that. So because you came to this webinar, you get the the sneak tip on that.
Thanks. Thank you all. And thank you, Mary, for that. I totally forgot about that and the fire. I'll include that in my evening talk. So I appreciate you bringing that up and reminding us.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Kay. I was done.
Oh, it came to my mind when you mentioned the fire department that GRPS partnered with the fire department pretty recently and put forth like a press release about all of the ways that we're kind of joining forces. So I'm just going to put it here in the chat. And I just briefly skimmed it and I saw like the words carbon monoxide detector in there. I'm not sure exactly if it gave information about what it would look like to have those, but just that. Anyway, you can browse that at your leisure. I'm sorry, I don't know. It doesn't have any like real concrete information that I can bring up right now, but if you scan through, there might be info there.
So there was a question here. If you're on a fixed income, SSDI, SSI, can one qualify for a loan with a great credit score, I guess? So I'm not sure who that's specifically to, or if it's just kind of thrown out there to the folks who are doing loans.
Yeah, I can chime in on that. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the source of income is, as long as it's verifiable, we can count it towards qualifying for a loan. Though it does need to be in that 43% debt to income ratio that I mentioned. So we look at someone's overall payments, rent or housing, any other loan payments, to make sure that we're not over obligating someone.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you can qualify using
right.
Social Security disability income.
There was a follow-up, and I don't know specifically who this is directed to. It might be you, Kimberly, because they said Kent Community, and you're the closest I can think of for that, unless someone else knows what I'm saying. But they're saying they used your program in 2018 and are making an assumption they have a carbon monoxide detector, which doesn't seem like a great thing to assume. So I just want to warn you that you should definitely go make sure you have one. Everyone should have one. It should be working if you've got gas in your house. So if they worked with you, would you have all installed one, Kimberly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the protocol. And then we do have a quality auditor go back out and kind of double check all of those things. So we want you to be there.
Yeah.
It's 2018, it's a little too late to come back and contact us again. We wouldn't be able to go out and do it at this point, but certainly get one way or the other. I think they are the most modest expense for such a huge issue or potential issue. So.
And I would say if you're not sure, and you own your home, I'd say contact the fire department if they're giving them out for owners, just to be sure that it's in there and functioning. Yeah, if you're not feeling confident about it, so yeah, and anyone should be doing that now. If you've got gas in your house, even stoves, half of the stoves we've tested in Grand Rapids have potential carbon monoxide issues. So just to give you all some, warnings about that. So, Ron, can you speak a little bit? Obviously you're working with North Point Bank there to serve the Seeds of Promise community, but what other opportunities are there potentially in the future for the neighborhood improvement program? Or you even have funds for a grant, really, for people who are first-time home buyers if they don't live in your area?
Yeah, all that's done through North Point Bank. So regardless if they live in our area or not, if they are qualified, we make the referral. So it doesn't matter, where the individual lives. We're really going to be pushing that program a lot harder this year for the first-time home buyers. That's really critical. The biggest issues that we're facing is affordability because the cost of lumber, as you know, Brett, and the cost of building some of our small homes. Yeah, but all that's done, and you don't have to live in the Seeds area. Even our NIP program, we service people outside of our Seeds area. So we service anybody that walks through the door.
Great, thanks, Ron. All right, well, I don't see any other questions, and I know we're all going to be getting back together here again later today. So I'd say, if you had a question that you forgot, come back on later and ask it tonight. But I want to thank all of our speakers. Katie, I don't know if you want to display their contact information here one last time. But I want to thank all of our speakers for tuning in, and thank you for joining us. And I know this will be recorded, so I believe, Katie, you'll be able to send that out to everybody and they can watch it again or share it with your community. And, anything you can let any of us know about any issues, and we can see where we can help plug you in to find the resources you need. So thank you all again, and stay safe and stay well. And, just recognize that, we can beat this thing and hopefully get back together again in person to have these events in the community here soon. So thank you all for your time.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone. If you are attending this event right now and would like to invite friends or family to the next one we've got coming up later tonight at 5:30, I just dropped the Facebook event in the chat, so you can share that with your networks. And we really appreciate everyone being here today. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.